Today on the Morning Edition, will your PFD drop? A vote this week could cut the permanent fund dividend to its lowest level in years, while lawmakers say there may be no other option. Plus, the citywide cleanup in Anchorage is underway, and from free dump passes to cash prizes, while volunteers say this spring tradition is about more than picking up litter. And later. When a 2-ton rhino catches a case of the zoomies, you step back and enjoy this show. We'll take you to one zoo where this guy is stomping, spinning, and celebrating all things rhino as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Monday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. We missed May the 4th, but today is Cinco de Mayo.
And we are talking about some rain showers in the forecast, but there is some good news. We are going to see the potential for some sunshine later today, but we are holding on to those overcast skies and a chance for some showers as we start off your Monday morning. You can see those overcast conditions for the first part of the day. Those temperatures, we are sitting in the 30s and the 40s across South Central, right at 40 degrees here in the Anchorage Bowl with winds out of the south-southeast at 3 miles per hour. We have been dealing with some gusty conditions from yesterday and still persisting into this morning, more so along the hillside where we've seen some of those stronger winds. But at sea level, we will hold on to that potential for winds gusting up to about 30 miles per hour throughout the day. Heaviest rain through Prince William Sound across the rest of South Central. We've got that scattered potential for some rain showers that will stay with us through at least the middle of the afternoon hours before we begin to see some drier conditions. But this rain remains with us, not only for South Central, but we're also seeing areas of Southeast. This is where we could see anywhere from Prince William Sound out towards the Panhandle, roughly about 1 to 3 inches of rainfall here over the next couple of days. So that rain forecast total showing that Anchorage into the valley will likely see just a few hundredths of an inch, so just some sprinkle activity looking possible. Western parts of the Kenai may be seeing a spotty to isolated shower, but you can see really from Seward out towards Prince William Sound, this is where we're going to continue to hold on to that potential for about 1 to nearly 3 inches of rainfall here over the next couple of days. So this wet weather pattern still staying with us, more so near the coast. Inland areas, we will dry out here over the next couple of days. You can see partly cloudy skies returning into our Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures will steadily warm into the low to mid 50s across South Central. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast for you coming up.
We begin with capital coverage. A vote this week could cut permanent fund dividends to just $1,000 per person, the lowest in real value in Alaska's history. The Alaska Beacon reports the state Senate Finance Committee is now proposing a $1,000 PFD, $400 less than their original plan. That cut trims $265 million from the Senate's budget draft. If the full Senate approves it, negotiations with the House will follow, which recently passed a higher $1,400 dividend. The budget released Thursday is the committee's second draft following earlier proposals from both the House and Governor Mike Dunleavy. Whatever happens, it could affect every Alaskan's bottom line. Another major issue in Juneau is how to fund Alaska's public schools and whether a proposed boost in per-student spending will actually make a difference. Leaders in the Fairbanks School District say a $700 increase in the base student allocation won't go far because a permanent increase would also require them to pay about $500,000 more toward charter school funding. Governor Dunleavy has yet to say whether he'll sign House Bill 57, which could lock in that funding increase long term.
Everybody is pretty committed to bringing down PTR as much as we can, but that $20 extra in the BSA, it's not going to generate enough once we've plugged the charter school, one-time funding hole that was created to do a whole lot.
Right now, leaders say they do not have a clear picture of the full impact of the bill. It's that time of year in Anchorage when melting snow uncovers more than just grass, but also trash. The citywide cleanup is officially underway, and organizers say this year it's not just about filling bags, it's about bringing the community together. Olivia Nordyke takes us to the kickoff at Westchester Lagoon.
I'm down here at Westchester Lagoon today, and some of us are talking trash. More of us are picking it up.
Spring is breakup in Alaska, and May in Anchorage means it's time for a cleanup.
We had an exceptionally long breakup season this year in Anchorage. It made you feel like it's the only thing in our way from getting to summer is getting the community cleaned up. We all have kids that want to get outside. We have family and friends that are coming up to visit, and we really want to make sure we're cleaning up the community so that we're putting our best foot forward as a community.
Dylan Faber is part of Community and Government Affairs with Matson, a sponsor for Anchorage's month-long citywide cleanup event. Faber says they're giving away $5,000 worth of prizes to those who submit photos of their cleanup experience.
As part of that sponsorship, we want to try and make it as easy as possible for residents of Anchorage to get out, pick up trash in their areas, because it truly feels like the only thing standing in our way from getting to summer is the trash that's on our roads and our neighborhoods.
While the event kicked off Saturday afternoon, Kathleen McCardle, Anchorage Chamber of Commerce president, says cleanup efforts will go on all month long.
I think ideally people would like to clean up year-round, but in the winter it's just not possible when new snow falls on top of any litter or any debris that's been around. So when spring comes, that's the time for us to reawaken and clean up everything around us.
Along with filling orange bags with trash and disposing of them at the proper dump locations, there's also an upcoming electronic recycling opportunity at Mountain View Lions Community Park on May 24th. For Petra Wilm, who says she sees plenty of trash on the side of the roads and in the woods while biking.
It's what my husband and I do for dates all through April and May. We go out with bags and pick up trash, so.
Spring cleanup is a tradition.
Trashy dates, yeah. Cheap and trashy.
Now, the trash pickup event goes till the end of May. Matson says it will be giving out prizes through the end of the month. But everyone has reminded me today to tell people to not put their trash bags on the side of the road, to take them to a designated dump zone with their dump pass. Olivia Nordyke, Alaska's News Source.
Now to an update on Mount Spur and how communities nearby are bracing for what could come next. The volcano remains at yellow status with signs of unrest still present. The Alaska Volcano Observatory says an eruption is possible but not imminent. The village of Tyonek, just 40 miles from Spur, could see up to an inch of ash fall if conditions shift, 4 times more than what's expected in Anchorage or the Mat-Su. Experts say it's all dependent on wind, and if activity increases, cleanup could be longer and more difficult for those closest to the volcano.
You'd need 4 inches or more of ash to start to have structural damage to buildings. There would still be the same impacts to the community in terms of respiratory impacts, wanting to wear N95 masks and goggles. The material is the same. It's still going to be abrasive and scratch eyes.
Ash from a potential eruption could also disrupt flights, impacting supply deliveries to remote communities. The Kenai Peninsula Borough School District tells Alaska's News Source it's sent 4 to 5 times more masks to the school in Tyonek compared to others, just in case access to supplies is cut off. Fairbanks is taking a big step toward cleaner transportation. Max Transit has rolled out new buses that run on compressed natural gas, replacing diesel models that are nearly 20 years old. The first 3 CNG buses are now in operation, along with a new fueling station to support them, and more buses are expected to join the fleet soon.
We're going to have a total of 13 of these buses coming on in the next 10 to 12 months. And so we've got our facility perfect now, fine-tuned it, and we're ready to go with all of these 3 buses now, another half dozen or so in the fall, and another few in the winter.
As the new compressed natural gas buses replace the old diesel fleet, the mayor says the switch will boost the local economy and create more opportunities in the borough. The deadline is now just 2 days away, May 7th. After years of delays, the Department of Homeland Security says it'll start enforcing the Real ID requirement. That, along with FAA shortages, may cause some delays as the summer travel season ramps up. Jen Sullivan has details on what passengers can expect.
With the busy summer travel season just weeks away, air travelers are already dealing with delays.
We had to wait 2 hours in Los Angeles to even board the plane.
Passengers at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey frustrated.
Have a lot of travel coming up, so hopefully they can resolve this quickly.
Technical failures and a lack of air traffic controllers have disrupted air travel at Newark. United Airlines announcing Friday they're canceling 35 round-trip flights per day from their Newark schedule. CEO Scott Kirby releasing a statement saying in part, Newark Airport cannot handle the number of planes that are scheduled to operate there in the weeks and months ahead. The lack of air traffic controllers is a nationwide problem. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy saying this week the air traffic control stations across the U.S. are short by about 3,000 controllers. They've been offering higher salaries and bonuses as an incentive, but the hiring and training can still take months.
It's our job to actually see over the horizon what the issues are and fix it before there is an incident that we will seriously regret it.
These issues come just days ahead of the federal government enforcing real ID requirements. Come May 7th, all passengers flying domestically will now need a special driver's license or ID that in most states has a star in the right corner. If they don't, they'll need to bring their passport or other approved documents to fly. The TSA warning passengers to expect delays during this transition. In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
You can find a full list of documents needed for a real ID on our website. According to CBS, the FAA is currently operating at just 72% of its target staffing level. Well, the sun is out, the engines are loud, and bikers across the valley are shaking off winter in style, while some riders are also seeking a blessing before hitting the road. And later, the president sits down for a rare one-on-one interview defending mass deportations, his economic plan, and why he thinks America's next financial boom is just around the corner.
Still seeing the return to some rain showers across South Central. Gusty winds remain. I'll have more on that as well as a 7-day forecast. But first, sunrise, 5:37 in Anchorage, 4:52 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
Well, welcome back. From stunning sunsets to pieces of Alaska's past, Jackie Purcell gives us a sneak peek at what's in the current edition of Picture Alaska.
Hello, it's Jackie Purcell here to talk about this week's Picture Alaska. The month of May is underway, and we sure hope it is a little less showery, a little less stormy than the month of April, so we can get some warmth going. And let's talk about some of the beautiful shots that we did get from you, our viewers. It was a gorgeous one. Check out this sunset view. This was out of the Anchorage area, and thank you to Terry. And then we go to Sleeping Lady. Yes, Sleeping Lady being highlighted by the twilight. And next on, we'll go to Nome, where the antennas and the feed horn are still visible. This is called WACS, or the White Alice Communication System. It was mostly used as an early warning system during the Cold War, but no longer. And finally, we have a sky show. Yes, that we got several photos in, a sky show of sundogs and sun halos. So these are all great examples of why you should tune in to Picture Alaska. Thank you all to our viewers who send in their photos and also videos. So I will see you online.
And that's just a snippet of the gorgeous views you'll see on Picture Alaska, which you can find on our website, our free streaming platforms, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Roku. Aaron, our viewers sending us some of the most beautiful views across Alaska.
Yeah, especially as we begin to see things wake up, beginning to see more and more things bloom as spring continues to progress through the state. We are waking up to some of those pleasant conditions as you head across a good portion of the state in terms of those temperatures. You can see many areas sitting in the 30s and the 40s. Now, we're still holding on to some rain for the Gulf Coast region. We've got some snow as you head out towards the Aleutians. That's where we're seeing temperatures sitting in the mid-30s this morning. And we've got some gusty winds to be expected for not only South Central, but into the interior as well, where we do have a wind advisory that remains in effect until this evening. There's our area of low pressure. You can see rain occurring from southeast through South Central and then out towards southwest Alaska, where we're continuing to hold on to some lingering areas of some rain showers with some localized areas of some wintry mixes embedded within it as you head out towards parts of the Kuskokwim Delta and through the Yukon Delta as well. So largely expecting drier conditions for southwest, but we're still holding on to that chance that we'll see some of that precipitation sticking around throughout the day. Winds through the night have been quite gusty, anywhere from 20 to nearly 50 miles per hour with some of the stronger winds through the Aleutians and then out towards eastern parts of the slope as you head out towards Dead Horse, where those winds have been gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour. And then throughout the day, we're going to continue to hold on to some of those gusty conditions across South Central. Now, notice these areas shaded within that orange. This is is where we could see winds of 25 to about 50 miles per hour. And it's really favoring areas of the hillside through central parts of the Kenai, over the mountains, those higher tops of the mountains. This is where we're really favoring some of those gustier conditions. At sea level, we'll still see some breezy winds throughout the day, but max winds should peak at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. But if you live along the hillside and some of those higher elevations, we could continue to see the potential for winds up to 50 miles per hour. So that stays with us through the day, kind of dies down overnight into Tuesday, and then we have some drier conditions taking hold for inland areas through the rest of this week. So this rain that we're seeing today, notice how it becomes showery in nature later today. You can see inland areas of South Central will largely be on the drier side, but we're still going to hold on to some of that spotty to isolated activity. Out towards southeast, also seeing the same general trend. Towards the evening, that rain will begin to kind of lighten up and become scattered in nature, and that will be what we can expect to see the next couple of days, with areas by Wednesday only holding on to some spotty to isolated showers. So we are going to see a lot drier conditions this week, but we are still holding on to that chance for some daily showers. Temperatures today warming into the low to mid 50s across South Central. It's going to be a warm one. In fact, this week will provide a decent opportunity for some warmth. 1 to 2 inches of rain across the Panhandle. Those temperatures topping out in the upper 40s and lower 50s. We've got that chance for some showers across the Kenai, some breezy conditions as well. Those winds could gust up to 30 miles per hour in Kenai, 25 in Seward. Still warming, though, into the 40s and the 50s. Not much in the way of winds for Valdez. However, Whittier and Cordova could see some of those gusty conditions. There was a winter weather advisory issued out towards Thompson Pass, where we are expected to see the chance for some snow accumulation. Highs warming into the mid to upper 50s into the valley. This is where we'll see some of the warmest conditions this week. Here in Anchorage, 51 with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. We'll see those temperatures steadily warm throughout the week, low to mid 50s with a stretch of some partly sunny skies heading into Mother's Day with a high of 54.
All right, thanks, Aaron. The days are longer, and that means one thing for motorcycle riders. The season has begun. To mark the return of riding weather, bikers from across the valley gathered at the Dining Center in Anchorage over the weekend. The event included vendors, motorcycle gear, local art, and for some, a blessing from the Christian Motorcycle Association to start off the season right.
So be able to showcase his art in the open community like this is great, because I think Alex inspires a lot of people, showing that an individual with a disability can have their own small business and impress quite a few people in the world.
The state of Alaska does provide a motorcycle operator manual. You can download it at the Division of Motor Vehicles website. Star Wars fans across Alaska suited up for May the 4th, including members of the 501st Legion who brought the Force to the Alaska Zoo. Event coordinator Brian Peterson says it was a busy day for the group, who celebrates with the community and gives back in character. He first got involved while building an R2-D2 for his son more than a decade ago, and says the costumes aren't just for May the 4th. The 501st stays active year-round.
It depends from year to year, but we help out with a lot of charitable events. We go visit Alaska Native Medical Center as well as Providence Pediatrics every month. So that's 24 visits a year. And then we helped out. We were at ArcticCon last weekend, so we saw lots of people. We were at Bosco's yesterday. So we're all around the place, but usually during winter it kind of slows down, but many people have seen us at the Diamond Center Mall bringing some holiday cheer with Santa.
Fans first started celebrating May the 4th back in 1979. The phrase dates back to a British political ad and has grown into a global celebration featuring events, costumes, collectibles. Thousands stood in line over the weekend for a special screening of the original film.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically, and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.